Hello friends, my name is Olga. I'm a mature medical student from Ukraine, and this is my Ukrainian blog, and I'm talking about Ukrainian life and Ukrainian war now. Unfortunately, we have now very hard time, and I want to tell a bit now what kind of study we have and what is with my study now, as I am a mature medical student, and actually what happened with my group mates, to my group mates and with my study. As our war began, all my group mates, a lot of them stayed in Kiev. They hide underground shelters. Some of them moved out in Kiev region if they have some dacha or houses, for example, parents' houses. We had no any study for 3 weeks. Our university sent us, the administration sent us the document, there some agreement that they will stop the study for this period, and they don't know when will be it returned to normal or to some, when it will be restored anyway. And so we didn't study mostly all this time, but 2 weeks ago they decided to restore study in remotely. Actually, from the very first day, first year, I studied remotely because of COVID, and there we had lessons online. We had to enter Google Meet. Our teachers, they asked us on certain topic. We had to learn. We had to write tests with on time. There was limits of time, and they were quite small, these limits. For example, on biochemistry, teacher preferred to give huge tests. For example, on 100 question, 80 question, 60 question, and always she gives, for example, 30 or 40 seconds per one question. So she may give 100 questions and only 40 minutes for such a test. It was very hard for me, but because I cannot, answer like a robot, unfortunately. So I was always person who did this test one of the last, and she always told that you're and some other people, they didn't pass it, may you do it faster or something. And now we have different situation, because as I told you, we had questions, we had tests, we had a lot of tasks, home tasks, and so on, and a lot of things to learn, to write. And even if we studied remotely, anyway, there was a lot of things to do, and I mostly sat near my computer and did tasks all the time. And so now the situation changed. We also studied remotely. Before, on time of each lesson, teacher wrote us an invitation, and we should put a plus under this invitation, and then enter the Google Meet, and study. And now also they ask us to do the same, but the purpose of for today's classes of all group mates is to make sure that we are all alive, that we are okay, that we can study, that we have access to internet, to electricity, to computer. So for them now it's pluses. We will not be punished because of the absence, on some lesson. And they said that these pluses under invitation of teacher, just they want to make sure that we are alive and we are okay. And another feature that changed now, that we are study without, we have no terms and limits of time for our tasks. Almost, because it was a word of university, of administration, of dean, but some of teacher anyway, they try to make these limits of times, but they not that strict. I mean, they give much more time than it was before. And why now we have no limits of time for our tasks and even for tests? Because everybody not at home, and almost no, not almost all students, they, a lot of them abroad, or they moved out, and not all have all the time, you know, constant access to internet, to computer, you know, to electricity even, or they should hide somewhere, or they have, for example, some trip, or they in a train, in a bus, or something. So these limits of time, they cannot let them to, you know, make this task on time. And anyway, a lot of people and students, they will not be able to do these tasks on time because of such circumstances. So they decided to do not make these limits, and they ask just to do these tasks when you have possibility, when you have access to computer, when you have access to internet. You should sit and do all tasks. And they said that in university, that the main goal to do all these tasks to the end of this semester, to the end of this year, and we should finish it. So we should finish it somehow. And so when we have time, we do it. And of course, it is not that easy, because as we communicate with our group mates, a lot of people, they cannot think about nothing. They have a lot of other problems, and they cannot study properly. And most of students, they just doing these tests, doing these tasks, but without, you know, they do not learn much. Unfortunately, it is true. And I can say also about myself, because I have a lot of different things that distract me from my study. A lot of new people, they asking something. You should communicate with someone. You should make friendship with someone. You should help someone, or you should ask someone, for example, for help, for show where I can, you know, get the food or buy the food, or such things that you will not be connected if you are stay at home. And these also things, it is all steal your energy, steal your time, steal your brain, you know, energy to learn something. For example, if you're in trip, if you're in train, in bus, of course you can put this plus on the invitation, like you're present on the some lesson, but they will give you task, and you may say okay to yourself, I will do it later when I come, you know, to that place. And if you come to that place, you should stay, you should, you know, take a shower, you should eat something, to food, and you should sleep a lot, because you're from road, and on the next day you're still tired. Also, you have to think where to wash your, for example, clothes, where, and just all the time these things, they steal your time. And even in Slovakia, as I am a refugee already, I cannot study properly, because I have no proper internet in my room. We have internet only in one place, in another room, and I should visit it for that purpose. And there we have only 2 computers, and only one of them have internet connection. And in this camp we have a lot of people, and thanks God, not all of them need constantly that computer, so I have possibility to sit there long. But if someone will sit there, for example kids, sometimes they playing games there, so I should wait them to finish this games. And this computer have this access also limited since 8 a.m. to 10 p.m. or 11, but mostly 10 a.m. So I have to wait for this, so it's not that easy to make these tasks, because you have these limits, you have these problems too. At my home, I always had access to internet 24 hours per day, and there was no any problems with that. I can do that the tasks when I want, and also there was no any destructive things. And mostly people, my group mates, they complain that they just have no they cannot concentrate on that tasks. They always or talk with someone, or think about war, or watching news, or they just feeling tired, or they feeling stressed, or they are moving somewhere. And all this not good for study. But I think that we all should, and actually all my group mates try to do the tasks, and all want to finish this year somehow. And the most strange, and I would say strange, but it's like not managed things, that we had to have 2 exams at the end of this year. It means that the first month of the summer we should have exam on normal physiology, or physiology, it is so called. Now it's changed a little bit the name of this subject. Before it was normal physiology, now it is the same, but they call physiology. And also another exam, it is biochemistry. They quite important, and I think biochemistry is more difficult as for me. I don't know, because it is really there's this huge names of the substances and a lot of things to learn. But anyway, no one knows how we should pass these exams. Some say that maybe it will be this exam will be replaced these things, and we will pass it at autumn. Some say that maybe we will not have any exams, so they just count our marks, and they get this average mark because actually every lessons we received a mark. So we have a lot of marks, as many lessons we have, as many marks we have on each subject. And so they think that they will put average mark, and will not be any exam. This is second way how to solve this problem with that exams. Others, they say that maybe it will be exam online, and there will be questions, and we should prepare. This is third way how to solve this problem. So no one knows now, and I think they cannot make this decision how we should pass, in which way we should pass these exams now, because it depends on the situation with war, what will be, and no one knows what will be next day. Now it seems like our military forces, our army, quite successful on the west, near Kiev, where is my motherland, where is my region, where I currently live, not currently, but actually live and lived. And our army is successful, and maybe it will be freed. But anyway, other people say, other experts say that we cannot return our homes so quickly, because there could be mines, there could be bombs, there could be danger still. there will be some, um, parts of soldiers, so starving soldiers that lost, and they can enter the home and kill you and take all food or something. And also I think the number of crimes will increase, because even Ukrainian, this um, thieves and murders, they also could because of the war, because no certain law and police cannot manage all such a thing, they also could use the situation. So it is, even after the military actions, some territories, it is dangerous, and the roads also dangerous, because these people, these murderers, they could shoot cars, they could shoot train, but using tanks, so they can damage the railways, this path of railways. And so to return home, even after it will be freed, it will be dangerous. But actually, no one knows what will be next. And so our study and our exam, it is like open questions, and no one knows what will be. And so we're trying to study. We study, I think, much more worse. That is, it was before. The quality of our study decreased. I think we learn, we read less, we prepare less. It is true, because we just cannot do that properly because of the situation. Each group mate in a different situation, so they cannot demand to learn us same as it was before. They cannot be strict with us. And I am very glad that our university is an administration understanding, and they understand all this, and they try to help us, support us, and so I'm very thankful for this. And yes, that is the situation with my medical university in Ukraine now. Thank you for watching. See you next time. Bye.